his top 3 advice points if you want to make your relationship last. They are communication, being honest, and being okay with being uncomfortable. And very cliche, but also very good because that is very, very true. I do wish, though, that he would have said that comprehension within your communication is what really is the key. Because you can talk all you want. You can think you're communicating about something, but if your partner doesn't quite understand or comprehend what you're saying or what you feel or what you need, then you're not going to be on the same point. And you're probably like, well, maybe that's what he meant. And maybe so. And maybe so. Maybe so. But I just felt as though it was the perfect way to open up this show. And it's also a way for me to drop in my motivational little tidbit. And I'm going to have quite a few of them as we go on. But it is important for you to know that yes, communication is key, but you also have to comprehend what that person is saying to you and what they need from you, because otherwise you will never get it and you will feel stuck and you guys will be at odds and nothing will work out. Trust me when I tell you, if your partner does not understand you, nothing else will work out. Welcome back to the Daily Dose with Des. And we have some great topics on tonight's card. I know I've been gone for a minute. They try to take me out, y'all. No, but I had some things happening and then I lost my purse and my wallet. So if whoever has it, if you ever see this, please just return it back. Just return it back. Okay? But I'm going through that. I've been on the road. I've been working. I've just been exhausted. Okay? So we have a lot of things going on, but I'm here. This is Saturday overtime. Okay? The Saturday shows are now called Saturday overtime, and I'm literally doing overtime. So just love the Clemson games. I'm doing overtime. Okay? But we have so much to dive into, and we will dive right into it after, of course, I do my introduction. Admit it. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it loud. Got you feeling so proud. This is how we do it now. Daily Dose with Des. Got you coming back for more. I have to do better with looking up at the camera and not looking at myself. I think I do really well so far, but I think I want to, when I get better or when I get like an actual camera where I'm not just using my little web camera, I think I'll do way better because I think I can do like different angles, like look here, do a little bit of all the things. But until then, we're here and this is what we're doing. So like I said, this is Saturday overtime. That's what it's going to be called. Okay? Because more than likely on Saturdays, I'm working overtime. It was such an early game today. I didn't get to sit and talk to you all about my day going into Clemson, and I was so exhausted and I was running late, and just like everything was just like everything. And then at the end, I'm also a little hangry right now. So if I go off the Richter scale a little bit, it's because I'm hangry because I couldn't eat the hot dogs and hamburgers that was provided to us today because I don't eat red meat. I don't eat the pork, the beef. I don't eat none of that. So I literally filled myself up on fruit, cookies, and voodoo kettle chips. That's what I was eating. So if I go off, it's because your girl's a little hungry. Okay, but we're going to dive into these topics because I'm ready to dive on in because I'm going to be ready to get off because I got to be up early in the morning. I got a job, y'all. Okay, so earlier this week, there was so much talk about this man, and I was just like, what is we talking about? Because I'm thinking that I had already talked about the 66, is he 66? The 60-year-old that's on LSU Tiger Man. Love him to death. Gave me so much motivation. And this guy right here is topping my motivation. Okay? Because he is 58 years old. Yes, you heard me, 5'8". And he is a freshman in college at what it's called, Lycoming. I don't know, Lycoming College. His name is Tom Cillo, and he's a freshman. So I feel like I need to go back to college. I'm already going back to college to get my doctorate degree, but like, I feel like I need to go back so that way I can like live out a couple more of my dreams. I mean, I was a cheerleader and everything in college, so I guess I lived out that dream. Like, I don't know what else dreams I have, but I have them. And like, these men have been motivating me. Like, if this doesn't motivate you, he never attended college before. So before I started that, that's why he was able to get into college and try out for the team, right? So Mr. Tom never attended college before. And he was like, you know what? My age means nothing. I'm going to go try out for the football team. He made the football team. And there you have it. 58 years old on the football team. Even if he doesn't play or start, he made it. He got eligibility left. He could play for 5 years, right? Because that's what they say. Yeah, eligibility is worth for 5 years. And they don't put an age cap on it, obviously, if this man is on the field. But he's not the first. There has been another man before him that's been pretty, they would say old, and who's made a football team. So that's a round of applause because that's a big accomplishment. So if you have dreams of making the football team, you probably can still do it. Okay? Just get in shape, strap on the gear, and go try out. Okay? All right. Congratulations to him though. Yes. Another thing that I kept seeing this week too, I seen some celebration and then I seen some radio silence. And I was like, what is going on with this? Because isn't this a good thing? Isn't this a positive thing? And this is in regards to our HBCUs. Now, I want to start by prefacing. Prefacing? Is that? Yo, I'm tired and I'm hungry. So okay, just bear with me. I want to start off by saying that I approach all things very equally. I see the right side of things. I see the wrong side of things. I see everything that's in the middle. I do not necessarily have a dog in a fight, but my job is to report to you to the news because there's a lot of people that are not reporting the news or they're reporting their opinions as the news, and I don't like that. Because part of being a journalist is to be able to, one, read, comprehend, research, two, put out the information that you receive. If you do say something wrong, you come back and you change it and you fix it. I've done it a few times, but it's your job to put it out there whether you like it or not. You think that I like sitting up here talking about domestic violence and things? I don't like talking about that, but it is a part of the news and it is very much relevant. We don't just talk about the good, we talk about the bads as well. So when I seen this news about HBCUs, I was like, wow, nobody is talking about it. What is going on? And I did notes and I took notes because I want to make sure that I hit the key talking points. If you want to get this information, you can go to ed.gov. And then I also got some more information from Capital B News. Okay. So that is a Black owned news entity. So you can go over there and look at the article that was written. I felt that they did pretty well, but I also felt because it was, it gave a little bit of both sides, but I felt like it didn't go as far as it needed to go in terms of explaining things totally. So we're going to dive into it a little bit. Yes, it's a little rocky topic and a little rocky subject, but this is what I'm here to do. Okay, so it says here that HBCUs are getting more funding. Round of applause. Right? That is so good. That is so good. So I'm going to read this to you here and I'm going to read my notes. They may overlap, but we'll get to it. Okay, so it says here, HBCUs and TCCUs will receive an additional $495 million on top of the anticipated fiscal year of 2025. Part of the investment that every administration gives out money for our higher education institutions, right? Boom. So it says this investment is an increase of 48.4% and 109.3% respectively. Okay. It says in total, HBCUs will receive over $1.3 billion and TCCUs will receive over $108 million from the department for the fiscal year of 2025. And again, I got this from ed.gov. That's okay. This the Department of Education. And I also want to preface by saying this fiscal years typically starts in October, if I remember correctly. So when we used to do this in military. So I believe every October our years will start over, and I was always so confused about that, and it'll go on to the next year. So we're talking about present day, current time, our next fiscal year going in. If that is incorrect, feel free to correct me respectively in the comments, but I think that's what it is and what I believe to know. Okay, so off of that though, there's more information that came out because I felt as though maybe I should read up on it a little bit for me to fully understand what exactly this means, right? So I read the article. Like I said, I got it from Capital News B or Capital B News, one of the two. And the key highlights is that it says here the Trump administration is redirecting 435 million to HBCUs, which are historically black colleges and universities, and tribal colleges. That's what TCCUs are. The money is coming from programs that used to fund other minority serving schools like Hispanic serving and the PBI, so like the predominantly black institutions. That's where that money is being redirected from. And I read in another article that is stated that is being redirected because sometimes and oftentimes those schools and programs are discriminatory when it comes to the students that they allow in their universities. And this administration wants to harp on cutting out the discrimination within education, but also understanding that HBCUs are staples and they need to be funded as well as the tribal colleges. You should understand why they need to pay and have funding for tribal colleges. I should not have to go into that, but if you need me to go into that, I will. Let me know in the comments. I have no problem with doing it, okay? Now, it says in total, I already told you guys $1.3 billion, and the tribal colleges are $108 million. The Department of Education says HBCUs are effective at supporting low-income and Pell Grant students, which is why they are getting the money. So that is fantastic. Okay, because it's a fact. We're talking about facts here. Okay, if you don't like the facts, talk to the Department of Ed, which y'all wanted to stay around anyway. So, huzzah! Okay, then it says the United Negro College Fund celebrated the move, saying HBCUs have always welcomed everyone and never discriminated. Smaller HBCUs like Talladega College and Payne College could really benefit because they don't get as much attention or resources, but they're always punching above the line when it comes to supporting the students, especially coming from the low-income families. That was an article. Okay, it said the money will be used for things like campus upgrades, scholarships, low-cost loans, and endowment funds. Okay, and then it says going into it, there's always going to be critics of it, of course, which I'm going to talk about. The critics say that this move hurts other minority schools like the Hispanic serving institutions that also need funding. Two things can be true at once. It's great for HBCUs, not so great for the Hispanic serving colleges and universities. It also says that some of the critics think that this is a, political strategy. So that way, Trump is wanting to show that, he's done more for black colleges and than any other president, including President Barack Obama. And then it says the article points out, which I felt as though this is more opinionated than it is factual. But again, I'm saying both sides. The article points out the irony of Trump giving big money, so I feel like it's an opinion, so HBCUs while also criticizing Black history teachings. And then it goes on to say as well, although there is no specific breakdown by the Biden-Harris administration's allocations to HBCUs by year, the administration announced in 2024 that it had set a record for investing over $17 billion between fiscal years of 2021 and September of 2024. So that's why I think that the fiscal year starts October. So in this upcoming year. Okay. So I have a few things and I have an opinion. Obviously, you guys know I'm always gonna have an opinion on something. Okay. I feel disappointed in a lot of the HBCU community that I haven't seen none of this posted because I feel as though it's very like anti-Trump, right? But at the end of the day, this is something that's going to help the institutions that you also love. So why not talk about it and celebrate it? Because if it does not happen, I guarantee it'll be all over the media and the news that it did not happen. Okay. Just like his last term when he gave a large amount of money to HBCUs wasn't really talked about. I have to go online and do research to find this information because it's not talked about. But we will sit up here and say, not we, them will sit up here and say how important it is to get funding for HBCUs, how important it is to, really support HBCUs. And here we are looking at information, facts, looking at the facts that for this fiscal year coming in October, there is going to be over $1 billion being invested into HBCUs and 100 million invest into TCCUs, right? And granted, I understand it may hurt some other universities who also need funding. That's understandable. But if we're talking about discrimination factor, if we're talking about usefulness of the funds, if we're talking about all the things that we need to be talking about as a group and as a collective, this is one of the things to clap your hands for. This is one of the things to put your ideas aside, put your feelings aside, and really look at what this can do for HBCUs. I love the fact that the United Negro College Fund came out and was very happy about it, applauding it and looking forward to it. And like I said, if it does not happen, I guarantee you they will be the first ones to let you know that it did not happen and it did not pull through. And rightfully so. If something is said to be done and it is not done, then yes, it needs to be on blast. Okay, I am totally in agreement with that, because don't give us empty promises. There's been enough of those. Okay, so I love the fact that it's going to go spread out amongst. There's campuses that need upgrades. We've seen the campuses fall apart. Obviously it's not going to go directly to athletics, but the way that this can help athletics is to help students be able to get to school so that way they can then in turn try out for athletics and put their talent into athletics. And in return, that money comes back into the university. So it's an all win, in my opinion. Okay. I'm giving you my opinion. I already stated the facts. Okay. And I also wanted to touch base on the critics. So what? So what if Trump is going to say, I've done more for HBCUs than any other president? Is it a fact? Is it a fact? If it's a fact, then why are we mad at that? Everybody voiced and applauds themselves for doing something great, right? We just read that the Biden-Harris administration announced they put it out there. This is how much we gave y'all between this year and this year. This is how much we gave, $17 billion. So why is it not okay? I know why it's not okay. Got it. But I think that we're focusing on the wrong things right now. Just in my opinion. This is great. This is great for HBCUs. This is great for education, especially, as I said, they want to be able to help low-income students be able to get into universities. Hell, it's going to help all the students within the universities. If the facilities are better, they're going to want to go. North Carolina A&T just had the highest enrollment record ever. That is amazing. And if you look at it, they had money and they put it into their facilities. They put it into their programming. They have the best agricultural and technology programs, period, ever. Like, do you see what is happening here? There is an opportunity for increase. But I understand that this right now doesn't fit the narrative of there's an attack on HBCUs. So that's why you don't want to talk about it. And again, this is my opinion. It's just my opinion. Okay. But I feel as though we focus on the wrong things sometimes as a Black community when we could be focusing on what is next to come and what could really be done with this funding to HBCUs. And I am very happy that HBCUs will get more funding, as they deserve to get funding. They deserve to get more funding. They need it. They deserve it. Right? Why not? Why are we not clapping for this? I don't understand. So I know I'm probably going to, piss some people off, but I'm trying to look at it with the blinders off and look at it to say, okay, this is what matters. We need to start focusing on the things that matter. This matters. Okay. We need to start focus on it, because if he didn't give any funding or any additional funding, then that will be a thing too. And another thing about Black history, so I'm not gonna be on the side of people that I'm not gonna be on the side of things that people probably think that I am. But I personally believe that our people should be teaching our people our history, because oftentimes it gets misconstrued. Oftentimes it gets misrepresented. Oftentimes it's getting cut out. When I was in school, I only learned about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Harriet Tubman. That's all I learned about. If it wasn't for Black History Month and me doing my own research and having a parents and grandparents who pushed me to learn Black history outside of the fold, I would not know any of Black history. Some things need to be done maybe at home or in a different program or a different process. So teaching in schools, they're not doing any justice to it because they're not actually teaching us what our actual history is. We have to go and research it ourselves to find out our history. So I understand, like don't take it out of schools. Maybe don't take it out of schools, maybe, but if they're going to keep it in school, then we need a certified Black history person to come and teach us and teach our children our future about Black history. Because I know darn and well when I was in school, maybe it was just my teachers, I didn't learn that much about Black history. And I feel like Black history is not just a month. Black history is every day, in my opinion. So I'm not, I feel as though if you're going to stop teaching it, that's fine. We need somebody to teach us our history. We need our own book. We need one of our higher ups, our bourgeoisie, to put together a history book so we know our history. Who created the elevator shaft, the potato chip guy, Carver. We have so many people. We have so many people of excellence that our education system does not do it any justice. It doesn't. It doesn't. Like every year I chose a different Black woman to cover when I was learning Black history. So I know Bessie Coleman was my very first and my favorite. Madam C.J. Walker. I just loved everything about that woman, how she was self-made. Josephine Baker was like my all-time, like one of my favorite. I think I did her like 2 or 3 times. And then my mama was like, you need to find another, you need to find another woman to do. And as we went up, I just kept learning more and more about the women and about just the excellence that we have within our culture. And again, I feel like we need our people to teach our history because it's important that the artifacts are remained and intact, that our knowledge continues to grow, because it's important that we're not leaving out facts. It's important that we're not forgetting the important details, because honestly, how can someone teach you something that they don't actually know? And if they went to school like I did and they're not interested in learning more about Black history or learning more about our history or the history of this country and how it was built, then how are they going to be able to teach our future these things? That's just my opinion. So I've probably went on long enough about it, but congratulations to HBCUs for getting this funding. I cannot wait to see what comes from the funding, and we're going to continue to move right along. Okay? Yeah. All right. I'm going to clip that whole thing. The whole thing's going to be like 25 minutes long. I already know. Anyway, moving on before we get into the mess. Yeah. But the WNBA is moving into the semifinals. So you have the Las Vegas Aces facing the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever is without Caitlin Clark, and they've made it to the semifinals. I wouldn't have never thought, but they're there. Congratulations. I do hope that they do give the Aces a little bit of a run for their money, so that way this series looks really, really good. The Seattle Storm was neck and neck with the Aces. Neck and neck with the Aces. So if the Fever watch tape, they can implement some of the same things. They can do a lot of the same things, because the Aces are really relying on really 3 key players. But this is going to have to be an entire, all hands on deck, because you're moving into the semifinals. And then you have the Phoenix Mercury facing off with the Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota Lynx, in my opinion, has been the best team all season, has shown up to the plate every single time. They closed it out early against the Golden State Valkyries, so they really showed what they have, what they're going to do. I see them as being the WNBA champions this year, and that I said that, a couple videos ago, I was like, is the WNBA ready for a new face to be on the map of the league? I think Minnesota is going to do that. I think it'll end up being Minnesota versus Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas they're going to take it up to the last game, and it's going to be the very last second. And I foresee Minnesota taking it all because they have just literally been lights out all season. So the semifinals continue on Sunday, September 21st, I think. So I think that's tomorrow. So yeah, they definitely are going to be one to look out for and one to watch. Please go ahead and watch some of these games. All viewership is good viewership when it comes to these women, as they're still trying to get paid higher wages. They're still trying to, up their viewership, up their fan bases. And this is a great way to really start to dive into women's basketball. Okay. Moving on. Yes. Okay. We're going to move on to track and field. Track and field, they're like it's a lot. Track and field is a lot, so I'm going to talk about them really, really quick. So as you know, the World Championships have been going on for track and field, and they end on the 21st. And there has been so many definitive and dominance within Team USA. Very, very happy. Very, very glad. Clapping my hands when it comes to Team USA. So we're going to run through our champions, whether they're gold, silver, or bronze. I will tell you which one they are, but we and you. But you should know who these athletes are. A lot of them are doing great things for not just in the field and the sport, but also in their community. So please give them a round of applause. Mr. Noah. Noah came along and he got his fourth gold in the 200 meters. He fell a little short in the 100 meter, but if you know Noah, then you know the 200 has always been his forte. He started to run the 100 so he can be better at the 200, and he just lights out. It was lights out. It was no competition. You couldn't compete or you couldn't compare, because he did exactly just that. So all the noise and all the critics, you're hushed now. You're hushed now, because he turned up and did exactly what he needed to do. And then also in the 200 meter, we have Mr. Kenneth. He gets was it the silver? Yes. Kenneth gets the silver in the 200 meters. So the U.S. literally took 1-2. So everybody was saying that we wasn't going to take 1-2. They took it. They did it and did it well. So boom, super excited about that. Super excited that, we have had dominance in the 100 and 200 for quite some time, and it's continuing. And listen, I know the Team Jamaica is on the heels, and they win, and then we win. They win, we win. Okay? But right now, we winning. So we're going to congratulate them for that. Okay. Moving on, we have, let me go in my order, because if I go out of order, I'm going to confuse myself, and then I'll be up here looking crazy. Sydney. I ramped and raved about her on the last video, and I'm going to do it the same thing. Sydney wins the 400 meters in history fashion, looking good out there. Her freaking athleticism is amazing. Her stamina, amazing. Like, she's just amazing. She's just amazing. She's amazing at all that she does. I like fangirling right now, but yes, Sydney handled business like I said that she would do. I said that she was going to handle it, and that's exactly what she did. Moving on to another one who has handled business, who's been standing on business. This is her time to shine. This is her chance. It's one thing I love about track, because when one of our greats move out, another great moves in, and it's just like it does not stop. Melissa Jefferson Wooden gets her gold medal in the 200 meter. She makes history being a double medaled in the 100 and the 200 meter. The girl is golden, literally golden. So congratulations, Melissa. Right now, you are the face of track and field. You, Sydney, and Anna. When was Anna in the second? Y'all, to me, are literally the faces of, oh, and Tara. So it's for y'all right now. So Melissa, you did exactly what needed to be done. Super duper proud. Okay. Moving on to Curtis Thompson. Curtis is young and he is zipping and doing what he needs to do, and he wins the bronze in javelin. That's like when you have the big, real big stick and you throw it and then it sticks. That's what he did. And he won. And I think he's 20 years old, so he makes history as I think being one of the youngest javelin throwers. So, yeah. Congratulations, Curtis. All right, moving on to Grace. Grace Stark. She wins bronze in the 100 meter hurdles. Grace has come on the scene and she has taken it by storm. She has really shown up in the 100 meters and hurdles, and she has really made a name for herself, really coming out strong, and she takes away the bronze for Team USA. So congratulations, Grace. Yes, I'm removing the pictures as I say them, because if not, I'm going to click on them twice. Moving on to Sandi. Sandi Morris. She wins the silver in pole vault. So the other day when I announced our gold in pole vault, I totally missed Sandi's name. So Sandi Morris is our pole vaulting silver medalist. So the United States got both gold and silver when it comes to pole vaulting. Sandi's real cute. Her nails and her hair. She was so cute to me. I was like, go Sandi, girl. All right. Moving on to Jasmine Jones. Jasmine Jones wins the silver in the 400 meter hurdles. First of all, I think this is one of the hardest events in track and field, because 400 meters of hurdles around the track? Oh no. I thought the 110 meter hurdles was a lot. Can you imagine going 400 meters around the track? And jumping along the way? Jasmine, you, baby girl, are one of one and cannot be outdone. Please continue to grow and shine in your craft. I am rooting for you. All of us at PG Love Sports is rooting for you, girl, because, oh my goodness. Okay? And you want to talk about another one who is doing a whole bunch of everything and is really, really, really hard? It's Miss Anna Hall. Anna Hall makes history because she won the Heptathlon. And this is the first time since 1993 that an American woman has won this event. And what makes Anna so special, right? This is Anna's third time doing this event. The first time, I think I'm getting this right, but the first time, bronze. Second time, silver. The third time is often the charm, gold. Anna takes it away. Hard work, dedication, putting it in, never giving up. She is literally the example. She is literally the walking proof of the endless possibilities that you could have. You can be and do whoever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want to be, as long as you put your mind to it. You put your mind to it, you can do it. Anna has shown us this by never ever giving up and continuing to just work at it and getting better and better and better. And here she is, now a gold medalist, making history in one of the other hardest events of all of track and field, because they do a little bit of everything. Okay? You got to be an all-around great athlete for this. And Anna is just that. And I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I'm not done. We got one more to celebrate. Because not only is Anna such a badass, we also have Talia Brooks, who gets bronze in the same event. We take gold and bronze. That's how it's done. That's how you do it. That's how you show up, not only for yourself, but for your country. Talia, congratulations. This makes me so happy when I see a woman with her natural hair, even though it's color. I love it. Her natural hair, her smiling. First of all, their bodies are amazing. Okay? The bodies are amazing in terms of like athleticism. Do you see those abs? They probably have 0% body fat. They are the epitome of health. Because they not skinny. Well, no, they're skinny. But I mean like unhealthy skinny. You know, you've seen a few and you be like, ooh, I can see mama, baby. They not like that. Her and Anna look phenomenal. All the track stars do, but they look phenomenal. Oh my gosh. Do you hear me? Ooh, wee. Talia, congratulations, babe. You did that. You did just that. Do you hear me? Very excited about that. And another person that did just that. Stefon, let me heal you, Diggs, has healed Cardi B. Did you hear what I said? Stefon, let me heal you, Diggs, has healed Cardi B with a baby. Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Cardi B announced on the Gayle King show that she is pregnant with her fourth child by her boyfriend, Stefon Diggs, who now plays for the New England Patriots. Stefon Diggs is also alleged to have fathered an additional 3 to 4 children as of late. There's an alleged rumor that one lady has twins, so that's automatically 2. Another lady had a baby earlier this year, and I reported on that, and that makes 3. Another one is coming out the woodworks from somewhere. That could be a false tale, but that could also be the 4th. And then Cardi B is bringing in a baby with him as well. I also like to know Cardi B is still married to rapper Offset. Yes. And you know, when I first did my video, when I talked about this, and I said this is not a good look for Cardi B, but it's a better look for Stefon Diggs, because this is, in my opinion, Stefon Diggs has had ties to other entertainers and artists, such as Young Miami, and I reported on that before too. But this is a great look for him, because now he is breaking into another world and industry where they may not have known who he was. Obviously, some women find him very attractive, so yes, they know who he is. But if you're not in the world of sports and football, you may not. But him being with Cardi B has now opened him up to an extended found of fame, in my opinion. And to me, this for Cardi B was a lateral move, because she already had Offset, and then she moved to Stefon Diggs, which is really like looking like Offset 2.0. And I had said, to me, this was not a good move for her, because if you really want to get your get back and you really want to level up, and if you really want to put it in Offset's face, you go get with a billionaire. You go get with somebody higher up. And I did agree with a lot of women who were in my comments saying, you know, that's not even Cardi B's mindset. In order for you to do better, you gotta want better, you gotta think better, you gotta be more mature. And I agree, and I get that. But I still feel like if you're gonna be pregnant by somebody while you're still married, it should be a billionaire. That's just my opinion. But she said that he was healing. He healed her. He healed her. Healed her right into the bed. But babies are a blessing. No way, no matter. So congratulations on that. I will not be one of those people that condone it, because I'm not with the whole, you know, baby mama culture and all of that. And I think it's still really wrong to be married and then being pregnant by somebody else. And that's just crazy. That's asking for a lot. And that's also giving I was going to say offset the upper hand in the situation, because there's now living proof. You can't stop giving him the upper hand. Stop giving him the upper hand. Stop giving him the upper hand. That's all I'm saying. Okay? But for the child's sake, I do hope that she gets divorced and then they stay together. If they're going to make it work, then they stay together and make it work. I do believe that Cardi B likes to be a kept woman. I do believe that she likes being in a relationship. I do believe that she loves being a mom and wants all of those amazing things. I don't believe that she really wants to be a rapper, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. So I do see that, because she was saying that she's happy, she feels strong and all that. And, kudos to her, although she just, her youngest child just turned 1. So you got to be strong. You just had a baby a year ago and you have another one and the baby's 1. You got to be strong. But hey, I'm just reporting the news. She said that she's healed. Stefon has healed her, and we shall see how this goes. We shall see how it goes. All right, so let me know what you think about this. Tell me in the comments. I need to know. Okay? Have you ever been healed like this before? Let me know. Let me know. Okay? But anyway, anyhow, yes. We are done for this show, and it's about my bedtime, so I need to go on and get up out of here. So, thank you so much for watching and joining. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Please make sure you're hitting that bell notification so you get notifications for when I go live. And please continue to support in any way that you can. If you want to get merch, you can buy merch at pglovesports.com. If you want customized merch, if you want to ask me questions, if you want to support in any other way, you can do so. What? Why is my phone blowing up? Child, hold on. This interrupted me. I'm gonna start over. If you want to support, you can do so by going to pglovesports.com to get all of your merch. There is plenty of merch up there, from shot glass to tumbler cup to crop top to bra and panty set to shirts and all of the other things. Okay, all of the things. There's football gear, there's hockey gear, there's parlay gear, there's regular gear. You can go get it. It's all type of merch up there. Please support, because I need all the support that I can get. Okay, if you want to get the free digital newspaper called the Playmakers Press, you can also go to prettygirlsmedia.com and you can hit if you want to type it all in, you can hit /newspaper Playmakers Press, or you can just go to prettygirlsmedia.com. At the top, it'll say newspaper. Scroll down, put in your email address, and you'll get the free newspaper to your inbox every Tuesday. Yes. I'm going to hold myself to that. Every Tuesday. Right? If you have questions for me, if you want customized merch in any type of way or anything that I can help you with, if you want to support in another way that is not necessarily of buying merch, you can feel free to email me at thedezarella@gmail.com. That's THEDEZARELLA at gmail.com, and I will be sure to get back to any and all of your requests. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Where's my hardware? Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next show, which should be Sunday Fun Day. But if it's not, I will see you on the Tuesday Huddle.